Hello, YouTubers. Today I thought I'd tell you a little trick that my grandmother taught me about 35 years ago. I had a 1975 Chrysler Cordoba, and it was a good car. I liked it. It run good, but when I got the car was wore out. It was back in the 80s when I had it. I didn't have much money, and I was tickled to death to have a car, especially one that would run. But I developed a problem with the gas tank leaking gas. Just all of a sudden, it just started leaking gas, and it was making a pretty good spot wherever I parked it. And I was afraid, somebody might throw a cigarette or whatever and blow it up. So I never had much money. I'll just say I was poor. I didn't have money for a new gas tank, anything like that. And I went over to my grandmother's house. She was still alive then, and my grandfather. And I was telling my grandmother, I said, I can't stay but just a minute. Just going to pick up my son and head for the house. I said, my gas tank started leaking on my car for no apparent reason. I guess it had a little crack or something, a little pinhole come up. I couldn't figure out what it was. And she told me, she said, son, she said, if you'll go in the bathroom, she said, I got a bar of Ivory Soap. She said, would you bring it to me? And I said, yes, ma'am, I will. I didn't know why she wanted it, but I done whatever she asked me to do. So I went and got the Ivory Soap, and I brought it to her. And she said, let's go outside and look at your car. So I looked at it. And she said, if you'll get down under the car, she said, take this bar of Ivory Soap, find where your leak is at. And she said, rub this Ivory Soap on there real good and briskly, put it on there real good. She said it'll stop the gas from leaking out. I'd never heard of that before in my life, but I done what she said. I crawled up and under the car at that bar of Ivory Soap she let me have and kept rubbing on the gas tank. I found the leak and rubbed on there real hard till it was caked up real good and it quit leaking. And she said, now, son, she said, you'll have to use the Ivory Soap. She said, you can't use any other brand. She said, Ivory Soap is 99.44% pure, clean and simple soap. She said all the rest of them have deodorants and stuff like that. She said the gas will eat through it. She said, but if you have Ivory Soap, she said it's pure soap and it'll work. So I was tickled to death because I didn't have money for a new gas tank, or I didn't have any money. I've said that a lot, I know already, but I'm trying to stress the point. So every 2 or 3 days, I'd have to crawl up and under the car. Or if I was going to leave it for a long period of time, I'd make sure there's plenty of soap on that particular pinhole that popped up on my gas tank. So I was tickled to death to get it fixed, and I drove that car for years that way, always carrying a bar of Ivory Soap in my glove box. I got to where I trusted it so much that I probably had 2 or 3 bars in there just in case. But anyway, I've got this jar of old salsa, and I punched a hole in the lid. It's got water in it, and you can see I couldn't do it two-handed, so I just went ahead and done it for you. There's a hole in the bottom of the lid, and there's Ivory Soap in there already where I've rubbed through the hole with the Ivory Soap. I'm going to turn it upside down. I hope you can see. There's no water coming out. Hope you can see that. Anyway, I'm just trying to prove a point that Ivory Soap will work for if emergency situation. If you've got a 4-wheeler truck or car or whatever, or get out on a trail somewhere, or any place, and spring a leak in your gas tank, it might be pretty handy to have a bar of Ivory Soap in your glove box or toolbox or whatever. And on top of that, if you get real dirty working on your vehicle, you've already got a bar of Ivory Soap to wash up with if you got some water. And I thought I'd pass this along. I hope that you might take this to heart and put a bar of Ivory Soap in your glove box, because someday you might need it. I hope you never do, but if you do, you've already got your Ivory Soap, and you can clean up afterwards with it. Hey, good deal. Okay, I appreciate you watching this video. Please subscribe, leave a comment. I appreciate it. I enjoy reading your comments very much. And I'll see you later.